Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 12th episode of Beneath the Kotatsu. My name is On, and next to me is my co-host James.
Hey everybody.
So today we're going to be finishing up the winter 2021 anime. Maybe talk about some of the animes we really liked, how we thought they ended, and maybe the ones we kind of dropped because they weren't that good. So for you, James, what was your standout anime for this season?
Definitely Mushoku Tensei, but I have a soft spot for Skate Infinity.
I drop skate. I mean, honestly, I didn't even need to drop skate. If I marathoned it, I probably would have finished it. But since there were so many animes, I felt like it just didn't really fit in the schedule of like all the animes I needed to watch.
It's a definitely a filler anime for me, but it's extremely fun.
Yeah, I do have to say Mushoku Tensei was very good, except I didn't like that weird transition in the middle because I they cut the story and never finished any of the plot in the first half. What did you think about that weird transition?
I didn't think it was that weird. It was just what was it, a mana storm that they said it was?
Yeah, some weird storm, and yeah, they got transported. That's all I really remember. But
I mean, for me, it gives me something to look forward to when they meet up with other characters again. Like, I still wanna. I don't remember what they said that Sylphie was doing. Did Dad take her to adventure with him or something like that?
I think um, what I remember is that he was supposed
Sylphia.
to go to the other family, make some money, come back, pay for him and her to both go to college, or, magical college, something like that.
Right.
Um, but my gripe is that, like, do you remember like transitioning from Attack on Titan season 1 to season 2, and it because it was so long in the middle, it felt like season 2 was very off. Like it didn't
You
go
mean
as
like the wait between season 1 and season 2?
yeah, like it was so long. That's my gripe with Mushoku Tensei is because they did this weird transition, but they
Hmm.
never closed any of the loop in the first half. You know,
Didn't they already announce the next season's gonna be this year though?
right,
Like in summer or fall, something like that?
right, next season or something like that. Summer,
So that's not too far. If it was like Attack on Titan or Log Horizon, then yeah, I would have an issue with it. But
right,
they're doing like the Hero Academia schedule. Will they skip a season and release a season?
right. But it's not about the skipping season. It's just that I wanted them to at least close a few loops, but no loops were closed at the end
Right,
of
it's
the
gonna
anime. Like
for me, I think it's gonna be a long journey. That's the I haven't read any of the source material. I don't even know if is any. To be honest with you, I went into
Like, are you
this
talking about
series cold.
are you talking about manga?
Manga, light novel, visual novel. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if there's
yeah. There's
any.
definitely a manga for it.
Okay.
But no. Like, I'm not even talking about like when you're reading a book and you
Hmm.
transition from one part to another. You want at least something. Like, just give me something that closes the loop. I didn't get any of that from Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah, but this
It
is the
was
start.
no, not even like it's a 12 episode anime. Something needs to be closed, even if it's something minor. It needs to be
Like what?
at least maybe show us that Sylphie went to school, or I think they're still pretty young, so maybe they didn't go to school yet. I don't know, but
No, they didn't because he was just raising up the money for college. Uh,
right, or
yeah,
maybe the arc with like him training or um like none of that. I felt none of that really got resolved. But
I feel like the thing that did get resolved was Eris being a little bit more stubborn. She like finally started to. Okay, Rugier, not Rugier. Rudius knows what he's talking about. I should follow his lead a little bit more. So she's warmed up to my that what I would say like closed up the relationship grew.
uh,
Obviously, it's gonna keep on going.
she got straight punched in the face and got teeth knocked out. I don't know how else.
I know she's like I forgot about that. Didn't
I,
he just
yeah, she
heal her?
Um, like I think like if I recall, like he was trying to set up a thing where they acted like they got taken away or they got abducted, but they legit got abducted, and
Yeah.
she was like, I'm I'm a princess, yada yada yada. And she got straight punched in the face and got her teeth knocked out.
I immediately thought about One Piece when that happened because I remember when Luffy got his teeth knocked out, he just drank a cup of milk and they just sprang out at you.
I mean, same thing, but except healing powers, right?
Same thing. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anime teeth regen is
OP.
Yeah. Who did you what did you think about Rudyard and the Superia tribe story?
Kind of one note right now, but we'll probably see more because we're only seeing one side of him. We don't have any
Right.
backstory yet. The little
Well, I mean, we do
backstory.
have backstory. He was betrayed, and then the name of his tribe was, uh, stained by the whatever.
No, no,
it
no.
was. Was it a hero or what?
That's like his like that's his whole tribe. That's this whole thing backstory. I
Right.
want his backstory, his single person backstory. Like
He was part of that. He's using the spirit of his son, didn't he say? And the spears are like their souls or something like that.
I don't recall, but like no, I just want some more like personal backstory, like some flashback backstory. Like you know what I mean? Like give me some of that. Give me some of that Naruto flashbacks.
Oh Lord. Ends up being like a whole entire season and a half, and then they do a flashback and a flashback
And while during
in a flashback.
during the middle of the flashback, they have like
I'm
a separate arc, in the middle of the flashback.
Yo, dude, I like you have breaks in your arc within your arc, so I made another arc. I don't remember how that exhibit meme goes.
I was like, I heard you like breaks in your break, so I added a break in your break, something like
Exactly.
that.
That's something Bleach would do.
What other anime stood out for you?
Definitely the Spider anime, of course, that's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing, but
It's
did it kind of feel
it's
like
fun.
did it fall off a little bit in the? I would say in the middle. It's picking back
It's
up
a little
now.
flat,
It is
definitely.
like I remember when we were first talking about it, I was telling you about how they were doing the most taboo thing of just spamming your face with text, just text, and
Yeah, I didn't like that too much, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Like in a lot of lit RPGs that we read, at some point the author just kind of stops telling us about stats, and he kind of forgets he's writing a lit RPG where he has to remind you, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll just mention it here randomly, but it doesn't really matter. Here it's just stats.
okay. So honestly, so when you're listening to a lit RPG, it's very dope. But I guess in a book, it's a lot easier because when you're probably seeing it on a page, it just looks like a stat screen. So it's a lot easier. Just
Right,
I'm looking at it, I'm done. Okay, cool, flip page. But
probably.
when someone has to read it out to you, I bet you're like, oh my god, let this end already.
Kumo ga Nani Desu Ka was a visual novel, right?
I think it was
Or was it a
maybe
light
I think it
novel?
was a light novel, and then it got a visual novel, and then transitioned into a manga. So
Right.
it's a lot of
So
jumps.
the stats would have been fine there. I guess it's just an issue with the transition of stats to to visual.
Yeah, I mean it's very jarring, right? It's very jarring to see so much text in your face at one time,
Right.
especially since no other lit RPGs, and I mean like isekai animes or anything like that, like has done that in the past. Yeah, we've seen like a couple stats, but that's just they're more show, less tell like
Yeah, I feel bad for the people that watch it live when it's airing on TV. You can't pause that, son.
not at all.
I always pause it just to read. It's like, okay, I don't really care too much about this anymore. Eventually, I'm gonna figure out what skill she's using.
But I mean like even if you pause and read it, like 99% of that text is useless. It's just
Kind of
random.
is.
Yeah, it's random. You don't need to know it. But story wise, that also feels kind of flat, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this is, she's grinding in the labyrinth. Not much else is gonna be happening.
Like
I don't.
let's take Slime for example. At first, I thought it was just a filler anime, but it ramped up real fast, and now it's it's one of the best isekai animes you can watch. I'm not
Definitely.
seeing any of that growth um in in Kumo. Like I know the anime's not finished. Maybe we'll see more
Yeah,
in
of
this
course.
in the second half. But from what I'm seeing right now, it's a lot of
The
um.
last episode is definitely a lot more story building. I don't know if you've seen this week's episode.
No, I haven't. I think I'm one episode behind.
Oh,
Um.
it gets a lot better. They're getting the ball rolling, like connecting uh the future storyline with the past storyline. They're starting to do that a
I
lot more.
also didn't feel like I don't know. I didn't like when they bring in like the third party gods, like the people who like run the game. I'm like, oh, really? One of these? I
Oh yeah, I didn't like that about Mushoku Tensei either.
wait, was that in Mushoku Tensei?
Yep.
Oh,
Per-
it was a little bit, but not to the extent of Kumo. Like in Mushoku Tensei, you know they like he goes out. Maybe he's like dreaming, and he gets a little pep talk from some otherworldly god. But from in Kumo, they legit just step into the real world and be like, "Hey, we're all powerful. I don't think you're playing fair, so we might just straight up kill you, something like that."
It feels like that team is reaching out to her from the future, and that's the connecting string. Maybe, I'm not sure yet. There's still a lot that I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see
Obviously,
where
I can
the
make a guess.
yeah, we'll wait and see where the anime goes.
And another thing that Mushoku Tensei and uh, the Spider anime reminded me of with that little god that pops up or whatever. Do you remember that anime? It was another trashy isekai from last season. It was like I'm standing on a million lives or something like that, and it was
Uh,
a character with like two handprints on his chest.
I don't remember. Probably not. I don't think I ever watched it.
I think you dropped it because it was pretty trash. I still watched it because I had to consume that content because it's trash.
I mean, there's so many isekais. It's kind of hard to remember one from like the
Definitely.
last one I can remember before this season was probably Kuma Bear, and that wasn't even a legit isekai. That was just a
I
filler.
dropped that one
How?
just because it
What?
doesn't really matter.
It was cute. It was nice. I
It
love.
was nice, but Good Smile spoiled that one for me with their pop-up parade figure pre-orders. Like, oh, she gets a white bear suit, and then okay, well, that messed me up.
How do you get spoiled in a?
The final form, dude, that deflated my balloon. I mean, they just made it white and black, so it doesn't really matter. I
They just
guess.
hit the inverse button.
Yeah, it's like how Evangelion is spoiled for me a little bit because of all the uh,
Hype and
anime
the
figure releases of stuff that I've never seen before. It's like, okay, thanks.
chill
I'm gonna have
guys.
to, yeah,
If you want to get like the pure form of Evangelion, you have to turn off your internet for like 3 months or something.
6 months, dude. Who knows when we're gonna get it in North America?
Oh, that's a
I've
long
been waiting
time.
for that. Yeah, I've been waiting for that movie for so long.
What other animes were? I know you finished those the other two trash isekais.
Yeah, they were so not worth it. Tatoeba Last Dungeon is gonna get another season. The
How
final
are these
fight,
like trash animes
I
getting
don't
so
know,
many
man.
seasons? I
I
don't.
don't know how that one is popular. The final fight, I mean, I get if it's gonna have another season, so the final fight isn't the final fight, but at least do something flashy. Him being overpowered, he just flick of the wrist. I destroyed this.
That's how I felt with Mushoku Tensei. The ending felt kind of flat. There's nothing really big that happened.
So it's not. He didn't exactly flick of the wrist. He just thought he was too weak to destroy a giant rock golem, and it was all in his head. Then when they gave him a proper pet tech, he obviously destroyed it with not too much of an issue. And then the LP trash isekai anime, what was it called again? Uh,
I didn't watch them.
Oredake Haru Kakushi Dungeon. The something about secret dungeon that only I can train in. That final fight was pretty bad. He didn't even do it on his own. His teammates pretty much finished it off for him. I
Uh,
guess
I mean,
it was whatever.
would you recommend it to someone who's looking for a filler anime?
Not at all.
Uh, See, I'm
Neither of
glad I
them, to be
dropped them.
honest.
I remember like
Yeah.
okay they were pretty first couple episodes were pretty good like The which one was the one where he's like a god powers or whatever, where he's like all powerful? The filler one,
Oh, the Tatoeba Last Dungeon,
was that it?
where he's super strong from a strong village.
I thought Pato and the Last Dungeon was the LP one. They're all the same.
No,
That
yeah, it
one
is.
had a really good, first second episode, and then it got really bad really fast, and I was like, drop.
Yeah, it's okay. Solid 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. It's not
eh,
bad. Obviously, there's better shows that you could watch if you haven't seen much anime, but when you're at our level where we've seen a ton,
it's
I'll
pretty
still
bad.
watch it. Yeah.
Oh, what do you think about Horimiya?
We had a discussion the other day about that, where after like episode 6 or 7, there was an extra scene and they're waking up together. I
Yeah,
actually went back and watched that. That was like a 5-second clip, dude. I
but
was like,
it's
no wonder I
there.
missed it.
It's
Oh
there,
yeah, it's
and they
there.
never
It's
talk
there.
about it.
I had to go back on every episode and see if there was anything else I missed like that, and I didn't really remember seeing anything else.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it, and I just like side mentions like, yeah, man, they like like when they were sleeping together and they wake up naked, but they never talk about it. You're like, no, they didn't. And I'm like, yes, they totally did. And and you're like, what was this? I was like, oh, probably like after the end credits or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I always skip the end credits because the opening, you never skip Horimiya's opening, but the end credits, yeah, skip it.
yeah, Horimiya's opening, major yes, it's so good. It's a banger.
Absolute.
um,
With MASH.
you know what was also a really good banger? I really enjoyed the Doctor Stone opening too.
Dr. Stone always has good openings.
Yeah,
I actually ended
yeah.
up getting a pop-up parade figure of Dr. Stone this season, right in time for the last episode. It's so tiny though. It's like 6 inches tall, and the base is ugly.
Wait, it was only 6 inches. Does the hair count for 3 inches?
Kind of like a half an inch, maybe.
The celery.
It's really good. Those pop-up parade figures are nice, by the way. I really enjoy them. $40, you can't beat it. I might get the Megumin one, but she's a little bit basic, so maybe not.
I mean, honestly, at this point, if you're gonna collect like a really popular waifu, you have to at least get like 10 or 20 of them, all with
Dude,
different
I
like
have
outfits.
7 Rei Ayanami figures.
But do you have a wedding dress one?
Nah, I have an adventure outfit version of Rei and Asuka. I have a matching
Oh yeah,
set.
yeah, I remember. I think we were at the con when you bought it, right?
Yep.
I remember.
I yeah, I still have it. I don't display it because I don't know. My cats bite everything and
And
knock it over, and I'll lose a piece.
don't you have it in a glass case?
No, I don't have any IKEA over here. There's no way I can find a good one. I need to get one off of Amazon.
Oh, but shipping glass through Amazon, that's
Yeah,
a big no.
mm,
Yeah.
dangerous.
I mean, I'm sure you have like at least some furniture stores near where you are, right?
Yeah, but nothing good that I'd want to use. I've checked.
Oh.
It's all like meh.
Okay, so back to Horimiya real quick.
Right.
Um, what do you think of it?
The first half was a lot better than the second half, that's for sure. Once they did that last season where she bites his neck, that was like the turning point where they mashed in a lot of stuff together. They're like, all right, we have like 6 other characters on the the art for the show. We gotta write something really quick for them.
I think the turning point for me was like when he left to go to I don't know somewhere far away. She was feeling lonely. He came
Right.
back. I guess that's when the neck biting thing happened, right? Or I don't recall, but she was feeling lonely, and then they get back together, a minor thing, and then after that, everything was a blur. Like all the other
Yeah.
episodes was a blur because they kept switching characters so fast, like different characters, different character, and I'm like, okay, slow down. Like I get all these characters want to be in a different relationship,
Right.
um, but you're throwing them at me so fast. I can't recall who's in love with who. They're all
They
over the place.
definitely could have done a 22 episode anime for it, I
This
think.
could have definitely I think it definitely needed a 22 episode or at least slow down the anime because with how fast they're transitioning through
Well, they spent so
stories.
much time with the first two characters,
I mean, they're the main characters. They have to spend a lot of time
Miyamura
with
and
them.
Hori. But
Yeah.
it just from the art, because I never watched. I just watched it cold. I didn't read if there was any source material. Uh, I would have figured like Yuki Ishihara, the purple hair guy. Who else was it? Kono, the green haired girl.
I
They,
vaguely recall these characters because I don't care about them.
I mean, I kind of got into it. I was kind of pissed off that they spent so little time on it. I wanted a better resolution.
I mean, I feel bad for the I guess the purple hair guy. This was legit. Like, it, you can see this from two perspectives. This is a
Sure.
straight love story, or this is a straight NTR story.
Oh my god, for the
From
green haired girl or
no,
who?
from I mean, from multiple characters. Like, okay, especially for the purple hair guy. Like, um
Hmm.
he loved the girl first. What was her name? Mia something.
Miyamura was the tattooed kid.
Oh,
Hori
Tori,
was the.
the female. Okay,
Oh
so
my god, hold on a second. I just got my mind blown by myself. You know what I never realized
Hori
watching the
Mia
anime the
was
whole time?
the name of the
Yeah,
anime.
the name of the two characters mashed together.
How do you not know?
Oh my god. I was like, hold on a second. It took me a whole season to figure it out. I finally got it.
You're like that gif of the guy that like has his hand and he's like you're like your mind blown.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But
I was like, hold on a second. Now I know why they didn't spend so much time on those other characters. Damn.
because the title of the
Makes
anime is
sense.
Horimiya. Oh,
Oh my
I
god.
can't
I
believe you.
always thought about Hormel Chili when I read the title. I didn't even
What?
think about Horimiya.
Okay. It's like the most random. It's like I thought about beans when I think about anime, just beans.
Basically, chili. Fake meat tossed in there. Alright, what were we talking about? I forgot.
Oh, okay. So,
Uh,
if you're looking at the anime from like the Horimiya side, it's a love
mhm.
anime. But if you're looking at from the purple hair guy, it's an NTR story because
Oh my god, it is.
because he liked Hori first, and then the guy's like, oh, I'm dating her now, and the guy's like, what?
Yeah, it just happened all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I
just
mean, but it came out okay for him. He ended up having a weird relationship where the blonde girl wanted to pretend like she had a boyfriend, but she didn't want to commit fully. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. They're probably gonna break up in the future. Who
I was
knows?
rooting for Library Girl, Book
I
Girl.
think her name was Kono. I don't remember exactly.
What's Vice President,
Yeah,
whatever.
I remember her.
Yeah,
She was like baking cookies that tasted really good for purple haired guy.
yeah. she she didn't. She was like, oh, I have extra cookies. They always have extra cookies, of course. I made
Oh,
extra. You could have it.
I specifically made extra cookies for you
It's was,
just in case.
but like besides the people you ring for, everyone else is like a blur to me. I
Yeah, it's just kind of
kind of remember red hair
filler.
guy, because
There
it
was
was
like two red haired guys, weren't there?
the one that wears glasses and
Yeah, the student chairman or whatever, student
yeah.
president.
I Okay, the anime was good. It was just that the second half needed a little bit of tweaking. Either
Needed
give
more meat on its bones, man.
either give it like a full 22, 24 episode, or at least slow down the anime. This anime I wouldn't mind they added in fillers. It could have used maybe a filler episode or two, and
Yeah.
just slow it down because it was just going too fast and I couldn't catch along because
The
there's
way
so
it
many
ended,
relationships.
though, it
Um,
feels like we're gonna get at least an OVA or something because they were talking about doing a beach episode scenario at the end. Oh, let's rent a car. I got my license. We'll go to the beach. So something's gonna happen with that. I don't think a second season, maybe a OVA.
um, did they announce the second season yet?
I don't think they did. But
Oh,
just the way they worded it, it left the space open for maybe a spin-off or something like that where they're in college, maybe.
I think it does need a second season though. I mean,
I'd watch it.
how could they be in college when they're not even done with all the relationships? This is what I'm talking about.
That's life, dude.
Close your
It doesn't have
loops.
to be done. Like
Close
just
your
because high
loops.
school and life don't end, man.
No, but I mean like we're still like what first second year into high school something like
That was
that.
their last year. They
Oh,
graduated
was
at the end
it?
of the show. Yep.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's right
Yeah.
because he was going to go to the same college, right?
Right. And remember the green haired preppy guy was found out by his sister to like be different at school and different at home.
Oh yeah. Because he was like all business at home, like jokey at school.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
Yeah.
know why he did that. I guess he didn't feel right at home. That's
I
whatever.
I
That's
don't know
fine.
either.
What
What?
did you think about I guess she was into getting hit,
Oh, the
Hori?
M, where she's like an M.
Yeah, and she like wants him to yell at her in public. Like, dude, come on, man.
I, you know what? It's a
I
kink,
mean, he made
whatever.
it work. He made it work. He's committed.
You know what I bet it is? I bet you
What?
that's the hidden story behind this. She knows everything that's going on. She knows that this is an NTR story. Like, what if she secretly wants the purple hair guy to like, yeah, I'm dating him now. Do you feel jealous?
Oh my God.
What if that's like the secret story, the secret
You
sauce
know,
behind
now
this?
now that you say that, it kind of puts it in a different light. Cause I, if I would have watched the biting scene beforehand, like
Hmm
stuff would have made more sense to me later in the show. But yeah, I guess that she probably knew.
Maybe, I haven't read ahead in the manga, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Okay, what other animes have you finished?
I just, Skate Infinity, I just wanted to talk about a little bit more. It was super over the top, a little bit too hard on the yaoi for one certain character, the antagonist.
Well, okay, so on the yaoi scale, is it more or less than the figure skating one?
I never watched the figure skating one, Yuri on Ice.
I mean, they straight up proposed in Yuri
This
on
guy
Ice.
was going around calling the snowboarding skater his Eve, and his name was Adam. Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, oh, I
I
could
feel like
hear the
that's just.
wedding bells are ringing.
I feel like
It was over the top, but I still enjoyed it. It was hilarious.
I think maybe that's just like a Japanese thing. I don't know.
I don't know. This dude was like, it was some straight Chunibyo vibes because he was also the some high-ranking politician member in the Diet or something like that. He's like, I also skateboard.
I
Oh
think
my
it's
god.
yeah, I think it's so funny. Like all these people in like the weirdest job positions, but they also skateboard. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
you know what
Okay,
I also liked about that guy? He tap dances on his
skateboard.
yeah, and he has some like serious matador vibes.
It does his is his like skateboard red?
Yes, I believe so. It has like a lot. It looks like a cross, I think. Oh, well, that might be a spoiler for his other skateboard he shows up in. Uh, so at the end of the show, they're doing the final race,
Mhm.
and he's like all depressed and stuff because he got embarrassed in a earlier race.
Mhm.
And he goes to this tailor, and he's like, "I need a special outfit." Like it makes it seem like the tailor whipped up a whole entire suit in like 2 days. It's like there's no way that's possible.
Is this for the rich guy? Is he rich?
Yeah, he's super
All right,
rich. I'm sure
it's
he,
definitely doable if you're rich.
that's true.
Two
He also got
days.
a whole entire skateboard that like transforms into a cross.
Oh, is there a reason for it to transform into a cross?
No, there's not. It's just for show, which is par for the course for that character, but I loved it.
Maybe it like it gives him more aerodynamic. What if it like gave him like a spoiler?
That
Like
would have been great, but it definitely wasn't. Nothing about his outfit was aerodynamic, that's for sure. He had like a
it's all
mask made too.
flowy and flashy.
Exactly. The only thing I didn't like about that show is that they didn't really emphasize the how the course is. It's
Hmm
just here's the course. We're not going to show you an overlay map. There's just a bunch of turns, straight lines, so you don't really know the progression of races in it. The skating sounds apparently I read from somebody else that they were really well done.
Like
I think Mother's Basement did an episode on that actually.
when you say really
The
well done,
sound,
like
all the noises, like when you turn a skateboard, doing tricks, stuff like that.
okay. I like
The audio
so
design.
uh okay, but what about the actual tricks? Like were they pretty realistic? Oh, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
they were super.
Oh,
So definitely a lot of over the top Tony Hawk Pro Skater like moments. It's a good watch. I highly recommend it if you don't have anything else to watch, and you like stuff like Air Gear, or what other sports anime was there? like
I mean, there's
extreme sports.
extreme sport. I mean, technically, would you count Ice Shield 21 as an extreme sport?
Nah, that's a sport. Extreme sports is like
Like, are you talking about
surfboard, snowboard.
like BMX type, like
Yeah.
X Games?
Mushi pedal was racing, so I wouldn't consider that.
So basically, X Games types.
Basically, yeah.
I don't watch that many sports anime unless you count what was that card game? I forgot. Chiaifuru.
Yeah, the where they're playing Karuta. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely not. But if you like skateboarding next games, over the top sports moments, this was definitely it. It's not remotely similar to how an actual skateboarding tournament would go, but it's fun. The course doesn't matter. The tricks are legit
I mean,
and
you don't have
exaggerated.
politicians in real life skateboarding, so.
No, not yet. It's gonna be an Olympic sport, right?
Well, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor, so you never know. And he was
Hey, and
professional
Reagan
bodybuilder.
was actor.
Who?
Reagan, the president.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. First stint, I guess. Yeah.
Did you
Um,
ever pick up any Urasekai Picnic?
I watched like 2 episodes. Oh wait,
Oh,
Urside
I
Picnic.
finished it all. It was fun. I loved it.
I think I watched up to I think 5 episodes, and it wasn't an anime for me. It's definitely not an anime for me.
It was basically just like if you've ever seen any Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures. It's basically like that, just with cute anime girls. It was fun.
Yeah,
Highly recommend you watch it. I talked about it already in another podcast episode.
yeah, we talked about it, and like I
Mhm.
remember I said that like it's you said like to fully get into it you have to watch like half the anime, but that's a lot to tell someone, like
I don't think you had to watch half each episode. Like the first episode is enough to get into it, I think, because
I
they're all
watched
about the
five
same.
episodes and I had to trudge through those 5 episodes. And first episode was good, it was all right, it told the story, but
Mhm.
everything
It
past
was
that,
all kind of the same, right?
yeah, it
It
felt
was just an
very
adventure into the unknown. That's all it was.
it's very uh, what type of anime could I call it? Like mm, paranoia agent type. Like it kind of gets in your mind a little bit. Like I do recall the episode where that monster alien thing where that it was like a mother or something and they were walking towards it, and the girl with the short hair, she thought she was she thought she wasn't the one being confused, but
Oh yeah,
yeah. I
I
was like, okay,
remember.
yeah, and I was like, okay, that episode was
I was
pretty
like, what
good.
the heck's going on? This is so mysterious.
Yeah,
Like it's just a place where a bunch of weird stuff happens and you're deceived by your surroundings.
yeah, that's why I kind of resemble a little bit the paranoia agent, where it,
Yeah,
it's that type of mindset where they kind of like throw the ball back and forth a lot, and you have to try to find where the ball is at.
right.
But besides that, it did feel kind of bland to me. Like people who like this type of anime will love it, but the people who don't like me, like I just had to drop it because it wasn't really down my alley.
You know
Um,
what this is like? This is you liking Yuru Camp and me liking Urasekai Picnic.
and
This
I could talk about it was so good. It was so comfy. It it's so good.
I
Like
was comforted.
I
That aired this season too, right? I definitely
yeah,
didn't watch it.
it I finished it. It was great. It was fantastic. Um, not only that, like it gives you like real world information. Like if you're gonna go camping, like they tell you all about safety procedures. Like if you're gonna go camping, make sure the campgrounds are of course open.
Right.
If you're the type of person that that probably won't bring their own toiletries, make sure the place has toiletries, or make sure it has like a public toilet.
Dude, a lot of the times those places will not have toilet paper, so you're screwed if you don't bring that.
Exactly, like no toilet paper, or like very unkept toilets because they're public, um,
Right.
and they're kind of like out in the campgrounds or whatever. Um, and another thing that they talked about a lot was like make sure you let someone know you're going camping solo if you're gonna go camping solo. Um, Also a
It
really
reminds
big
me of that guy that remember that movie with that James Franco was the lead in? He falls into
uh,
a ravine and he gets stuck on a boulder.
not at all. I don't no
You've
idea.
never watched that? The one where he cut his arm off to
Uh,
escape?
you have to tell me the title. I don't
Okay, so
honestly. I
it
don't
was
remember any movie where a guy cuts his arm off to escape something.
I don't know. It was like stuck in 48 hours.
I don't recall it at all. I have no idea what movie you're talking about. Um,
So
Go ahead.
basically, the premise is he goes hiking in the desert and he just falls, and the whole movie is him, having flashbacks. Uh, you know, cuts his arm off with a Swiss Army knife and
Why?
runs to safety. That's it.
Why?
Because he can't move the boulder.
Wait. Was this? I think wasn't this based off a real story?
Yes,
I
the
heard about
same
the
one.
real story. I don't know about the movie though.
The movie was a good watch. It's not super urgent. Nothing you should worry about.
So in Eurocamp, um, one thing that they talked about was you have to check the weather because let's say you're in town and the weather's like really nice and warm. But
Hmm.
when you're going camping, let's say you're camping, you're driving to a camping location, it could be like maybe half a mile higher, in
The
elevation.
elevation,
Yeah, so it
exactly.
could be at night, you could be looking at, 5 degrees or something like that, or maybe in the negatives. So you have to like check the temperature, especially your campground temperature and all that. And I
Hmm.
thought that was awesome. They also showed you how to like make fires, like you can use pine cones or you can use shavings. I thought it was like they give you a lot of real world
Right.
um a lot of real world info that I really enjoyed. Like it was a comfy anime and I got real world info. Those are two of my favorite things.
I'm surprised that just hearing you talk about it, I'm surprised that I haven't watched it because I went on a huge bender where I watched all the episodes of Survivor Man back to back, and
um
also a lot of those
Survivor Man
Bear Grylls
was
episode. The one with Les Stroud, the dude with the harmonica.
was that the guy where they just dropped him off in a
Yep.
helicopter and he had to carry on his own.
Yeah.
Oh, he
He
is
was
my
like,
favorite. He is legit my
yeah.
favorite.
He would like record himself walking into the distance, disappearing
And
into the
then walk
horizon.
back, walk
Yeah, and then
back,
walk
grab the
back to
camera.
grab it. Yeah, that was
Oh,
really good.
yeah, I recall like it's been so long since I watched him. I do recall like one episode where they dropped him in like the middle of a mountain, and he's like in a cave the whole time or something like that. I thought it was like really awesome.
Yeah,
Maybe it wasn't a mountain.
there's
Maybe it was like a ravine or something like that.
there's a few
Yeah.
situations he was in like that. But anyways, I should definitely watch Euro Camp. What would you have rated the season?
Uh, I wouldn't say it's like a perfect anime, but comfy wise, maybe an 8. So
Nice.
overall, I give it an 8. It's a good watch. It's a good watch
And
for
going
people who
back to
like.
Skate, my rating would have been like 7.5 out of 10 or something like that.
That's not bad. Not bad for a
Yeah,
filler, right?
not at all.
Yeah. I
What did you
mean,
think about Kaifuku Jutsu no Yari
ooh,
Naoshi? That was the
I
pervert
don't want to talk
anime.
about it too much because it's still technically airing,
Is it?
and
I Are they on break or something? Or
isn't it still airing?
it definitely is gonna have more seasons at least. I don't know what the status of the show is.
I'm not fully caught up all the way. I'm a couple episodes behind, but overall, I really like it. It gives me like maybe a Bleach vibe almost, but
Bleach.
yeah, like the Bleach vibe, like um, where they, guy gets mentored by a bunch of people, and then he has to fight a bunch of bad guys. Uh,
We're talking about different animes. This is the one where they release uh two episodes, one that's censored and one that's not. It's the one where
oh,
he
I
changes
thought you
his
were talking
face.
about the finger eating one. What was the finger eating one?
The what one?
The
Oh, the
finger.
finger eating one? Uh, Jujutsu no Kaisen.
Oh, what was the one you were talking about?
The one where the very start of the show, he's reborn.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
takes a
yeah. What was the
philosopher's
title of it?
stone. Kaifuku Jutsushi no Yari
They
Naoshi,
sound
something like
hella
that.
close together, don't they?
They do Jutsushi. Man, I'm getting tongue tied.
But yeah, I thought you were talking about that one, and I was
I
like,
was like, Bleach, what? Rule 34 Bleach or something? What type of Bleach did you watch, dude? You watched some sort of fan made production? I was like, hold on a sec. This is completely wrong.
Yeah, but like they do sound awfully the same, so that's why I got it
I mean,
mixed up.
there's yeah, I mean, I understand. We don't really keep up with the titles of a lot of these
Not at
shows
all.
unless if it's
Like when we're
something like Bleach or Pokemon or Attack on Titan.
like when we're talking about anime, we're like the anime with that one kid that does that one thing in that one location. That's how we
You
describe
know, the
anime.
one with the fire feet and he's a firefighter. They pray for fire zombies to go to heaven,
And they have a bomb ass opening.
and ending every single time they get new ones.
What,
But
what was the name of the anime? I forgot.
Fire Force.
Fire Force.
Yeah, it's really good.
They the story went too fast. That's all I gotta say about it.
They're gonna have more, obviously, but
They no. They sped through the stories, dude. Like it felt like like they pushed 3 arcs into one episode. That's how they were like, "Phew, done." Next, like it's like they did to the anime what they did like for the third or fourth season of Soma,
mhm.
where they went by really quick. They did it even faster. They're like, done. We're gonna pump out these arcs in every episode.
The
All
power
these
progression went really fast.
it, it was absurd. Okay, what anime were we talking about?
The perverted one, where
I
it's
dropped
super
I dropped it
censored.
after episode 5 because there was no point in watching it.
Yeah, there's not really unless you're into that sort of thing. Uh,
I
it's
mean, it it was like the anime that people
super
really wanted.
shocking.
It yeah, like people wanted more of that. Like when Goblin Slayer came out, like oh we want the gritty stuff like Goblin Slayer. Yeah,
The
you
first episode, every episode.
yeah like and you totally get that but it kind of get boring. It's the same thing over and over. It gets boring after a while,
It is. It's a
and there's
little.
really there's really no plot. Like the story is written by an 8-year-old, um, like
I
a
mean,
kid that's
sure,
just
yeah,
hit puberty. And it's like
13.
I'm gonna add sex scenes in every chapter because I can.
If Bender wrote in Isekai, this isn't an Isekai, is it? No, it's not.
Uh,
It's not. He's reborn in his own world.
you, is it not easy? Yeah, I guess it's not, right?
It's
Yeah,
not. No.
yeah. He just turns back time.
Yeah, it's just a hero anime
Did you finish it?
with revenge. Yeah, I did.
I didn't finish it. It was
Yeah.
whatever. It is what it is. I mean,
You were right though. It was pretty much the same thing the whole time.
yeah. Like most of these animes, I can kind of guess where they're going after a couple of episodes. Like with the isekai, like the filler trash isekai, I dropped them because I knew where they were going and it wasn't going to be very good.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you pick up any of the other animes that you dropped at the start of the season?
like what?
The the one where they design animals in heaven? Tenshi Sozo
I
Design Bu?
did not. I watched
Uh,
maybe
one episode of that is what I watched.
yeah.
Hortensia Saga, I dropped it after 3 episodes. It was
Okay,
super
I
forgettable.
legit finished uh Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
Was that something from this season? I
It
don't even
was season
remember.
2. Season 2.
I remember you watching as a Hololive.
Yeah, Hollow Live were like I was like, what is this? What is this random game about girls horse racing girls? And I'm like, oh, there's an anime for it. Okay, well I'll watch the anime, see what it is. And I was like,
I
like
remember you said you were spoiled by Wikipedia
yeah,
from actual real world results.
because these girls like legit are named after real horses, and I'm like, why are these
Oh
girls have
man.
such weird names? Like, the main character's named Special Weekend or something like that. I'm like, why is her name Special Weekend?
Real horse names, dude.
It's these horse names are really weird, like extra weird. Like, no, her name was Special Week. And then one of the other character names was like Silent Suzuka. I'm like, okay, that's a believable name. And then one of like the American racers comes in. My name is El Condor Pasa. I'm like, what? El Condor Pasa?
Man, I really want to play that gotcha game.
I tried it. It's not too bad, but I couldn't read Japanese, so
Yeah, we should
like
be ashamed of ourselves. We
like
need to get
you
on
can
that.
legit the game is not on the Google Play Store. I think you have to download
No,
it
it's
off
not.
You have to download it off a different Play Store, like
The
a Japanese Play
APK.
Store. No,
Yeah.
no, no. It's on a different platform. I mean, you can download the APK, but I think it's more stable if you download it through the Japanese different. I don't think it's a
Do you have to like change your?
no, no, no. You just download the platform and then download the game. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't recall what the name of the platform is. I just do a little googling. You should be able to
Sure.
find it pretty easy if you want to try the game out. But there's no English setting, so it's all Japanese.
Good luck. And what about Back Arrow? Did you watch any of that?
What was that about?
That I watched one episode and I dropped it because I didn't care about it too much. Uh,
I guess not for me either then.
Basically the plot was, how do I explain this? Periodically, stuff is shot out from like pods of chests of treasure dropped out, and it's random stuff every time.
Hmm.
Uh, for this random character, I have no idea who he was. They ended up finding a pod with a person inside of it,
Okay.
and he has powers, and that's it, I guess. He's
Oh,
trying to get back to his
sounds
home or something like that. Some ET stuff.
okay.
It wasn't really interesting to me at all.
It's so,
Did
so
you
random.
see Praetor no Kizu?
No, I don't think I did. What was that one about?
Uh, don't know. It was like, uh, man, Yuri on Ice by Super Yaoi. Uh, it was another one of those ikemen shows where,
Hmm.
hot dudes doing hot things,
Not dude.
being bounty hunters, making money.
I think most of the animes I watched this season were season two animes. Like Log
Same for me.
Horizon, Yuru Camp. What else? Slime, Doctor Stone, Attack on
I
Titan,
saw
of
World
course.
Trigger.
Um, yeah, there's Ray Zero. There's so many season two animes. That's why I didn't have a lot of time to watch like the new animes. But I mean, I watched the ones I liked. Um, and honestly, this the winter 2021 anime is the season of second seasons. That's what I'll dub it. The season of
Second
second seasons.
seasons and the sekais, for sure.
I mean, technically there was only three real isekais, and one of them was good. The other two was kind of meh.
True.
Yeah,
I mean, Log Horizon was is an
yeah,
isekai.
but it's also a second season. That's why I'm dubbing it the
True.
season of second seasons.
And I want to go back on something you said earlier. Did you think there's too much time between the season of Log Horizon and the last?
Yeah, 100%. And they did the biggest taboo thing of starting Log Horizon with a bunch of really random political crap I didn't really care about. But you know what? It ended okay. It was fine. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
really care for
first
the
few
ending.
episodes were super. How many episodes was that? Like five, where it's just a political race Shiro is not really involved in that much.
Yeah, like, and it ended with the guy just not even wanting to participate in the voting either. Like, oh, I resign. I'm not gonna, you know. So other person wins by default. Whatever. Um,
Shiro pulling a trick out of his hat without telling the audience,
I mean,
or
yeah, like
indicating that he has a big ass plan to turn on a gate randomly.
that's what made the first season so good is because you get to follow along as he's doing the planning. But in this one, it's like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, whatever. Yeah, it fell flat for me. I didn't like where it was going, especially when we did the transition to Krusty.
Hmm.
I didn't care much about that either. Honestly, I just wanted to know what the more the town backstory. That's what I wanted. Um, did you like the Krusty part?
The Krusty part was okay. I don't know how I feel about it being presented as a puppet show. I,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
it was just there for transitions. Actually, like,
It was a little rough, but it was a good fight. I didn't really know what the genius stuff was about until later. It was okay, I guess. I really enjoyed the arc after that, though, with Erebus, Uranus, what was his name?
oh, the all knowing something like that, or all.
Yeah, he's the one that takes your subjects of venerations from you,
Yeah, it was
their
alright.
memories.
I
I
wouldn't
enjoyed
say it
that a
was
lot. It
amazing.
reminded me a lot of WoW Classic.
Like raid
It felt
wise,
like just gameplay wise, yeah.
for me, I could care. Yeah, like fighting was cool, but it wasn't really. it was more like getting. It felt like getting over it. The anime,
Wait, what do you mean getting over it?
like the game getting over it. You know, where you're in a bucket and you have to climb up the mountain.
Yeah, but this is an MMO with multiple players.
No, no, no.
That's a
But
single
like that's the
player.
last boss. Is like you have to just get over it. Like get over your veneration. Like getting over it. The last boss.
I mean, they had to gimmick it because the boss didn't accept that.
I mean, that was
Uh,
like for a gimmick. I did like that the gimmick of that boss. You know, like he doesn't do damage. He takes away like your memories. Okay, cool. But I want to see some more like
I mean, it
actual
took their
rage.
morale from them, and that was like a make it or break it type thing. I wonder what would have happened if they lost that match.
They probably lose all their memories or something like that. I don't know.
No, definitely not. They probably just won't get like the first clear bonus if there's one. I'm not sure if there is in that show.
I mean, we're talking about like a real monster. We're not talking about like an in-game raid. You know, like I bet you if they lose, they lose a lot of memories or something. Did I don't think they got their memories back after the fight, right?
Pretty sure they did.
Did
Didn't
they?
Krusty get his back?
Krusty wasn't part of that fight, so
No, when he did his, because he fought another genius. They call
I,
them geniuses, but I have no idea what that means. It was like a creature
maybe
with
that's
special
just maybe that's
abilities.
just like the name of the monsters.
Yeah, they're like lore monsters. Like, for Krusty's arc, it was the dude that's on the cover of the art.
Yeah.
For the Erebus, whatever, it was the useless sisters that they did the quest for the snake scales for, which I hope they get their mounts eventually because I want to see it.
I mean, it was alright. Ending was alright. I more.
It was a lot better than the start for sure, for me
Oh,
at
of
least.
course, anything is better than the start. I mean,
Oh, you know what was good?
what?
What about that? Uh, Man, I'm forgetting words here. Where she confessed her love to Shiroe.
Oh, Rem.
Yeah,
Oh, what was her name?
I don't
I think
remember,
it starts
but
like an
you know,
M or something, or Midori
yeah,
or more, something
it's
like
like her Shiroe's apprentice, basically.
that. Yeah. That was basically Rem 2.0. It's like
Yeah,
straight up rejection, and then and then the friends combine, they get consolidated or whatever.
yeah. I can't wait to see what happens with short girl and Shiroe. I forgot her name,
He said he was in love with somebody else, and
which was
I
the
thought,
samurai girl,
yeah. At
ninja.
first, I thought he was hinting at Ninja Girl. But
He is.
it definitely is probably samurai. Is she samurai or is she a monk? I thought she was a
She's
monk.
a no. She's a ninja.
No. I'm
The
talking about the other girl, the girl in all white.
Oh, she's like a priest or something like
I think
that, or a shrine
I think
maiden.
she's a monk, right? Or she attacks with her fist. Like she was
She
with
has a
Krusty.
staff.
She was with Krusty, right?
Oh, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, that girl.
I thought he was talking about the ninja girl.
The
Because
one
they showed Shuiroa hanging out with her on top of
like
buildings, just chilling,
oh,
having a good
like
time.
we know that she likes him, right?
Right.
Definitely she likes him, but it's still kind of a mystery who he definitely likes because it.
I'm pretty sure it's her, but they just, haven't told each other yet.
He hasn't specifically said it. He says he's in love with somebody else. So it could I would say it maybe 70% her and then 30% maybe to the monk girl.
That's
So,
true. The fighter.
Yeah, the fighter girl. So it
Huh.
can go either way because he was all about her in the first season. So
That's true.
I don't know how that can change, but we'll see. Okay, so I think it's been long
Attack
enough to
on
where we
Titan.
can. Nah, I don't want to talk about Titan because the people who have because it's 4 seasons long, So you have to really
That's
commit
true.
to finish it.
And talking about this season would be like doing them a
Taboo.
major disservice,
It's a
spoiling.
taboo. Yeah,
Definitely a taboo.
I say Attack on Titan should not be talked about for the next 5 years.
All right. I mean, I guess that's fair. If you haven't seen season one, you're spoiled, I guess, by other people, I'm sure.
I mean, season one's already 5 years, so all
More
fair
than
and
that,
love
I
award.
think.
Yeah, that's
That's true.
What about Doctor Stone? Do you like the ending to that?
Are they gonna have more of that show? It seems like they would.
I think so. Yeah, it was hinting. I think wasn't at the end of Doctor Stone where they said, "See you in the next season," or "See you in the," was it
When he
Doctor?
froze.
We won't talk about that. We will not
All
talk
right,
about
all
that
right,
for anyone who hasn't seen it.
all right. It's taboo,
Yeah, that's taboo.
taboo.
I was like,
Oh,
uh, but what do you think about the inventions? The invention wasn't as good as the first season, right?
I mean, because they built up to it the previous season too, making
No,
all the
no,
gold
but like,
thread and stuff like that. That's
yeah,
stuff that they already had lying around. The shield
in
stuff was cool, but nothing crazy.
yeah, like when they were building all the small stuff, into the bigger stuff, it was cool. But in this season, I didn't really see a lot of that. It was more planning and more constructing than actually like sciencey
Oh
type.
yeah, they were. I see what you mean. They definitely had a different approach. Like I remember in the earlier one, you were excited to see how he would make the inventions. This season was like, how is he gonna solve the X problem with what item?
Yeah, yeah. This is more like MacGyver problem solving.
Yeah,
Uh,
MacGyver exactly.
yeah, and unless like uh, science, I'm gonna use X Y, to solve A B, something like that. But it was alright. I wouldn't say it's an amazing second season. It was good.
It
Uh,
was good enough for me to get an anime figure of it.
yeah, it was good. Uh,
uh,
Rating wise, what would
Definitely
you give
gonna
it?
be one of those shoes. Rating? 8 out of 10.
That's
8.2.
pretty generous. I'd probably give it a seven. Seven
I
point.
mean, I really like Dr. Stone. I like the world that they're in.
Yeah, the world building is good. I just didn't like second season in general. Like season one, like good 8.5. Season two, 7.5. Somewhere like it wasn't as good as season one. Still good. I'm not saying it's a bad anime. It's just didn't live up to the hype of the first season. Any other anime you want to talk about?
Did you ever rewatch? Sorry, not rewatch. Re-pick up Jakuchara?
No, not at all. It's
Yeah,
not
same.
my wheelhouse. Um,
Yeah. I was going to try and build up the motivation to watch it, but I just, I didn't want to.
I could see myself finishing it, but with so many animes this season, I just fell on the back burner and didn't really feel like watching it at all.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Wonder Egg Priority. Did you watch? How much of that did you watch?
No, none. One episode was a one and drop. I mean, I really like the premise. I think if I had the time, I'd probably watch all of it, but um, not my wheelhouse either. Like I have plenty, like too much for on the season to watch, and I don't know. Did you finish it?
It's still gonna be ongoing, actually.
What?
Uh,
Really?
yeah.
It
So
it says there's
around
only 12
episode
eps.
10 or 11. Well, is it only that much? It felt like on the last episode that they're gonna have a lot more.
From what I'm seeing, it's telling me there's only 12 eps.
Oh, you're right. They're
So
definitely gonna have a second season because they left a lot of stuff
unfinished.
unfinished.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought so.
they didn't really explain why the egg. Why are they doing all this stuff until like episode 10 or something like that? I wish they did it sooner, but
So it's
here we are.
basically just a girl running around for 10 episodes until they get into backstory.
For girls.
Oh, I saw the two girls. So I don't know who the other two girls are. They probably come in later on in the. Okay, I only saw the first episode, so that's why.
Yep,
Um,
I think at for episode 5 you see everybody.
yeah. Oh wait, you said you finished. I don't think it's finished, right? But didn't you say you had you want to talk about Seven Deadly Sins?
Oh god.
Or
It's
no?
not finished. I thought it was finished.
Oh, it's not
There's
finished.
gonna be a lot more, but I heard people complaining about the previous season where there were bad animation.
Yeah,
Uh, so they had like a really big fight build up. Like, remember how we had Grimjo and Bleach versus Ichigo?
yeah,
It was, I guess I would say more than that. Maybe like a Frieza versus Goku type of
yeah.
level of boss fight, but they just did the worst possible animation for that fight, and it just kind of turned me off for the rest of the show, to be honest with you.
It was jarring.
Yeah, it was a major uh fight, and they completely dropped the ball.
Like animation whiplash.
It wasn't that, they just like the final boss didn't really do anything.
It- what was it?
He
Just
just
like one and done. Like I'm gonna hit you with my one attack, and then you're gonna see if you can dodge it. If you can't dodge it, you just die. Type of deal.
little bit. Ban was dodging a lot of attacks uh, from I guess the Demon Lord or whatever his name was. I forgot. Supreme Demon Lord. And it was just a lot of him moving his head around in a circle, dodging the two claws that the boss was using. Because he made a. I'm going to spoil a lot of stuff here. He basically took over Meliodas' body after it had been incubated with the testaments that were these other characters.
I have
They
no
all
idea what
merged.
you're
He took
talking
the
about.
body. Exactly. So he was just using these two additional claws to attack Ban, and he wasn't using his body really to move at all or do anything. He's just kind of standing there throwing these two extra claws around at Ban. And they were actually fighting like on two battlefronts. Uh, and it was more of the same on the other side. It was just disappointment all around. I
I'm
don't
trying
even
to
want to
picture. I'm
talk
trying to
about it
picture the
anymore.
battle when you're trying to
It's
describe it to
not
me,
worth
and
it, dude.
I cannot picture any of it because it's so random. It's like two claws, guys
Well, you never
fighting
watched the
claws.
show either, so you don't really know what
I
I'm
finished.
talking
I
about.
finished the first season, and that's it. I never finished. I never.
So imagine a guy throwing punches at you, and you're just dodging them in a circle on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
No, that doesn't sound very amazing. So,
Nothing hype like when Meliodas threw the spear in the first season. Remember that
it's been a very long time since I finished
with
it.
Gale Thunder? Oh, that was the best, dude. Nothing ever really matched up to that. Um, Meliodas randomly got this original way of attacking, which was like a bunch of boba balls. He makes holes in the Demon Lord, and that's it.
It's so random. Like he does this, he does that, and then they fight, and then
That's all it was, dude. It wasn't very good. It made me depressed how bad it was.
the way you described it makes it sound so boring. I just want to go to sleep. The way you described
That's what I was like. What am I
it feels like
watching? Did I miss something?
it feels
I
like
feel
I sat through like a sermon. Like on this day, he took his two claws and he swiped at him, and then he did a couple punches, and then some balls floated, and then he killed the demon lord. I'm like, oh god, ugh, I don't
so.
want
The
to sit
fight
through.
was Meliodas fighting Demon Lord in one form in what's the Purgatory is the name of it. Meliodas was in Purgatory fighting the Demon Lord. Ban was in the real world fighting Meliodas' body with the Demon Lord inside of it. That's all it was.
Okay, that
And
okay.
neither
You explained that way better. Okay, I see.
okay,
The
but
the first.
neither side had any flashy moves, no spirit
Okay.
bomb like move,
No,
no
no, no, no. But
destructo disc like
it
move.
wasn't the flashes of it. Was like you just trying to explain the fight because I until you said that sentence where he was in the body like two people were fighting at the same time, one with using the
Yeah,
same
you're right.
body, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. When you
It's
first
just
described it, I was like,
so
I
turned
can't
off
follow
about it.
it.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's how sad I was from it. That's how disappointed I was by the show.
All right. I guess
Ugh, I
I'm
don't even.
done. I'm done with all the animes for this season. What about you?
Yeah,
Anything else you want to talk about?
I'm just super depressed from Seven Deadly Sins.
All right. I guess we'll end it here. All right. If you like us, leave a comment. Maybe like us. But besides,
Subscribe,
maybe subscribe. But
smash that like button. I'm just kidding.
but besides that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.